He's fine, Fred.
This many missions non-stop isn't fine.
Sierra 117 to Infinity. Blue team has located Argent Moon. Signs of hostile activity, but she's still here.
Copy that, 117. Eliminate all hostiles. Secure Argent Moon. You may deploy when ready.
Affirmative, Infinity. 117 out.
Here you go.
Thanks, Kelly. Everyone ready?
Affirmative.
You good?
Blue team, fall out.
The Envoy are resisting. Throw the Envoy out the airlock.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Rick with the Digital Divide. Today we're going to be taking a look at Halo 5 Guardians. I wanted to revisit this game in 2021 because Halo Infinite is supposed to come out and I've never played this game before. I'm recently back into the Xbox family after having bought an Xbox Series X. I was lucky enough to find one. Mostly I bought this because right now it's pretty much impossible to find a 3000 series NVIDIA GPU, and I used to play all my Game Pass games on PC, but now I switched over to the Xbox Series X for the time being. Now, this game, like I said, Halo 5 was the only title on Game Pass that was not available on PC, so this is why I'm just now getting around to playing it. I've been told it's a horrible game, so I kind of avoided it for a while. If you don't know what it's about, basically it's split up into two teams. Red team is headed up by Spartan Locke, and then Blue team is headed up by Master Chief, as we all know and love. Basically, the story goes that Master Chief is on a mission to find Cortana. Cortana was his artificial intelligence that lived inside of his helmet, and they became very, very close over the first few games, but essentially his higher-ups told him to forget about her because she's being rampant, and he disobeys orders, and Locke is sent to go find him. Now, rampancy is defined as a terminal state of being for an artificial intelligence. Basically, the AI over time starts to develop a lifelong contempt for its creators, and if the AI is not dismantled after about 8 years, then they basically go Skynet on you. So they talk about that a little bit in Halo 4, as you can see here.
Where are we?
Checking coordinate impact data.
We have asked you to give up your family, your childhood, your future.
Cortana.
I'm sorry. It's the crash. I'm fine.
Something was wrong even before we left the Dawn.
Chief? Really? I'm fine.
Cortana.
I was put into service 8 years ago.
8 years.
AIs deteriorate after 7, Chief.
Halsey.
Chief.
We need to find Halsey.
Chief, please.
She made you. She can fix you.
I won't recover from rampancy, Chief.
If we can just get back to Earth and find Halsey, she can fix this.
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep. We need to move.
So when you start the game off, you are greeted with a really epic introduction to the Red Team.
Affirmative. Say, before we make this jump, anybody want to say a few words?
I figure if God can hear how scared I am, so can everyone else. Locke, you buying the first drink when we're done?
You ask, you buy. Fireteam Osiris. The light is green.
Check.
Comms working fine, Lop.
Copy that, Tanaka. Spartan Buck online and ready.
Spartan Vale online.
Weapons free. Contact.
So as I started to get into the gameplay, I thought to myself, man, this feels really, really, really good. And guys, I hated Halo 4. I didn't like it at all. I forced myself to beat it just so I could say I played them all, but I didn't like it at all. And I haven't had an Xbox console since the 360 generation. I skipped the Xbox One entirely. I'm playing on an Xbox Series X, so it's playing at 4K native at 60 frames a second, and it feels amazing. And the music is incredible, and the voice acting is incredible, and everything's just great. So I'm thinking to myself, am I crazy here? Like, this game is really, really good. What is going on? Is it just me that likes this game? It can't just be me. I mean, this game is just so well made. I refuse to believe I'm the only one who likes it. So I jumped onto Metacritic to see what everyone else thought of it, and it looks like the general consensus is that it's a great game, at least as far as reviewers are concerned. One of them even going so far as to say that it's the best Halo game ever made. And I gotta say, after recently finishing it, I really like it. I'm not gonna say it's the best Halo game I've ever played, but it is definitely up there. It's up there with Halo 1, in my opinion. And this is probably my second favorite game. The single-player game is awesome, and so is the multiplayer. It looks like the user reviews are pretty low, though, and I think that's because, for the most part, you are playing as Locke instead of Master Chief. You barely play as Master Chief. And that kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 2, because they kind of tricked you in that game by making you think that you're going to play as Snake the entire time, but really you play as Raiden almost the entire game. But if you can get over that, the actual gameplay is really, really solid. I think 343 Industries deserves a lot of credit for coming around on Halo, because I was not too hot on their first few takes on the series, and I really, really, really like this one. I think it's amazing. I mean, the gameplay is rock solid. Everything's, I mean, and again, that's probably because I went into it with really low expectations. If I had gone into this with higher expectations, maybe I would have been disappointed, but even though you don't play as Master Chief that often, when you do finally see him, the interactions are epic.
Stay where you are. "117, stand down." Sir, you are absent without leave. This is your one chance to come home peacefully. Blue team, stand down.
I have a job to do.
Cortana's our concern now, sir.
Like hell she is.
So guys, that's the end of my rant on this game. I just wanted to say I just recently played it for the first time and beat it in 2021 in anticipation of the next Halo game that comes out later this year, and I really liked it. I loved it, and I don't know why it gets so much hate. Well, I guess I do. It's because you don't play as Master Chief, but I don't think that's a big deal because he's still the star of the show, and there's a lot of mystery behind the story, and it was compelling enough for me to play through it, and I really, really dug it and wanted to make a quick video about it. Thanks for watching.